How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And I know it's been a while since my last upload, but I've just been really busy with life lately, so I do apologize for the delay in uploads for a while. Now, on that note, my upload frequency will probably slow down for a while, especially since Dark Souls Remastered is coming out soon. So I will start uploading a lot more once the remastered Dark Souls comes to stores. So other than that, let's get into today's showcase. So I'll be taking a look at the Mace again here today, as I consider it to be my flagship setup, or my main setup that I use for most of my competitive duels, for example. And it's also one of my favorite setups to use here with the Mace and the Plow. Now, I have recorded all the footage in this video with all of the boys from the Dark Souls 3 PvP Discord community. So shout out to all the boys for providing this footage here. We've got some awesome fights. And basically what I've done with the build is I've changed up the stats a little bit, also the armor, and I've also added a couple of things. So if you actually want to have a look at the build itself, I've left a link in the description below to the Mugen monkey build, so you can have a look at the stats, etc. But essentially what I've done is this build is now running 44 Vigor. So because of that, I now have 14 attunement to be able to use Tears of Denial using the Sacred Chime of Filianor. Now, reason being is because you're adding an extra hit there of survivability, and it might get you that trade that wins the game using Tears of Denial, provided you have time to cast it at the beginning of a match. And on top of that, with the Sacred Chime of Filianor, as you saw a couple of seconds ago, basically if you're given the space with an opponent that's being a bit passive, you can actually get out the weapon art of the Sacred Chime of Filianor. So that regen will stack with the Ethereal Oak Shield of this build, so you get about 6 HP per tick. Otherwise you're still getting 3 HP per tick with the Ethereal Oak Shield by itself. Now that's quite handy in the sense that you can use that regen to sort of reassert your neutral space and get a little bit of more HP back for another trade if you are using that mace. Now I will also say here, guys, that in terms of armor, I've changed it up a bit from the previous iteration of this build as well. So basically now what I'm using is the Black Iron Helm with Gundyr's armor, the Black Iron Gauntlets, and Lap's leggings. Now what this has essentially done is my slash defense is quite good in terms of fighting against curved swords, obviously, and we're still getting some decent dark defense as well with the other pieces of armor there, guys. So you're still getting some good absorption values there against what is considered the meta. Now on top of that, because of the armor change, it's also changed my poise a bit. So our poise has actually gone up a little bit. It's a total of 41.99 now. So what that essentially means is that when you're two-handing the mace against those faster weapon classes, you basically don't need to use perseverance at all for pretty much any of their attacks, including their weapon art. So for example, the straight sword stance weapon art, you can just tank that with normal two-handed R1s from the mace instead of having to use perseverance, which is quite handy as you can counter all these fast weapon classes at the trade and get off your two-hit combos when you do stagger them. Now on top of that, guys, I will say perseverance is always handy against those bigger weapons, so don't forget to get your timing right when you are fighting other ultra weapons, for example. But yeah, that's pretty much the changes to this build. One last thing I'll discuss is the rings. I'm using the standard ring setup that I use with pretty much all of my Poise builds. So we've got the Chloranthy +3, the Havels +3, the Prisoner's Chain, and the Ring of Favor +3. But I will say that your ring swap option there is the Chloranthy ring +3. So basically if you want to, you can begin a match with the life ring +3 and then switch out to the Chloranthy ring if you want to, or if you're playing a less serious match. So because I do know that in tournaments, for example, Sun Princess ring is actually banned for most of those tournaments. But if you're playing a less serious match, you can switch out to the Sun Princess ring as well, and then you're getting that regen stack again with the Ethereal Oak Shield. So it's quite a versatile little setup here, guys. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little update here to my Mace flagship setup. And once again, thank you to all the Discord boys that helped me create the content here for this particular video. I had an awesome fight club a couple of weeks ago. I really do think that you guys actually helped me get back into the game. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you're enjoying my content, please subscribe. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. Enjoy. Whew! Good game there, Damo. Good game. That was an awesome little fight. Damn! Shout out to my boy Red there, surprising me with the weapon art of the Herald Curve Greatsword. I thought he was going to go for a roll there. I was going to roll catch him, so that was a nice little surprise. But let's see if we can get our revenge here against Red.